This is Robert Murdoch here at the MindShare Workspace, and welcome to MindShareTV podcast and conversation with our awesome co-op student from John Fraser of the Peel District School Board, Adila, discussing the value of co-op and planning your career pathway to success. Thank you for joining me this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for hosting me, Robert.
And wow, what a cool day it was. By the way, today's National Smile Day. So be sure to cast your smile and put people at ease and make people feel good about themselves. And so, at any rate, speaking of smiles, we had 39 smiling students from a co op program at John Fraser, which is just across the street from Air Mills Town Center in the great city of Mississauga, as Mayor Crombie says, and past Mayor Hazel McCallion used to say. So, talk to me a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to take co-op.
Yeah, so my entire life I've kind of been really into the arts. So ever since entering high school, I've decided to take on the Arts and Culture Specialist High Skills Major program, which is offered at our school. And so in that program, you have to take a bunch of art courses, a business or law course, and then after that, you have to take your 2 credits worth of co-op, which is essentially like one afternoon or one entire morning of co-op. And in the beginning, I was really struggling with fitting it into my course plan, and it was really hard to find the time and like which courses I should drop in exchange for co-op. So that was a bit of a struggle at first, but afterwards, after I started doing co-op, I really found the value in like having the real workplace experience. So honestly, I feel like it's just been like really beneficial for me to like get some experience outside of the classroom and applying my skills in the workplace.
And talk to me about some of this. You can hold that, and
Okay.
you're interviewing me. How's that? Talk to me a little bit about your experience at the Mindshare Workspace.
Oh yeah, for sure. So in the beginning, I was honestly a little intimidated by like working in the real world and like all the pressure and like judgment that I thought I would be facing. But at Mindshare, I feel like the community and my coworkers really foster like an environment where I can kind of grow and explore different, even like different creative liberties that I have been taking with like my posts and stuff. So honestly, I feel like it's just been a really fun experience overall, which is something I didn't expect from co-op at first because I thought the real world would be like scary, like everything would be kind of harder to accomplish. But overall, it's been like a really great experience. So.
And it's about building community, right? So we had 39 students talking about the future of learning and work and what you do, and had some of our other co-op students and employees who attended U of T, for example, and the digital enterprise management program. And it's about skills, right? And talk to us a little bit about the skills that you've garnered. And by the way, I'm going to move out of the way. That design of Father's Day social media was done by Adila. So incredible talent and so inspiring to get a fresh set of eyes here and helping us with our social media, and your creative flair, artistic ability is something that really is incredibly valuable and something that will serve you well in the future. So tell us a little bit about the skills that you've garnered and honed some of what you already had coming in.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So, thank you. I've been trying to like improve my posts recently as well to like kind of fit the Mindshare image, which is one of the things I've been working on. Overall, I feel like from the classroom to the workplace, in the classroom, you're kind of allowed to build your own branding and kind of express your own creativity. But here at the workplace, you kind of have to maintain an image that your audience will want to see, which is something I had to get used to a little bit. But now, after having been taught like a lot of little details and things that I can add to my work to make it fit the Mindshare brand, I feel like I've gotten a lot better with creating promotions, and yeah, it's been great.
And so now, in terms of Canva and some of the other tools, like have you been able to draw that into your course? And by the way, she created this really incredible. There it is in the background. Your display board. What do you call that board that you created?
Co-op fair board.
Your co-op fair board. And we went and supported you at your co-op showcase, which was so impressive what you did and really showed how passionate you are about your experience here. Um, what are you planning? What are some of your plans for the future in terms of planning your pathway to success?
Well, I always felt like I would do something in the arts, whether it's like a part time on the side or like maybe even incorporating it into my main career. But for now, I'm thinking of hopefully getting into economics at UBC or commerce, something along the lines of, yeah, like business. And then after that, I want to go into corporate law.
What a small world, because one of our other students just finished first year in business, and she was a co-op student as well in our program. And talk to me a little bit about the community that you've discovered here in our Thrive Thursday lunches, and what you think of this atmosphere and the design thinking of the actual space and the colors. And because I know that's something that is in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, so the community here is like really great. In the beginning, I didn't really talk to anyone. I like talked to Ivana, Hanan, and Yusuf exclusively. But now that like I've kind of gotten to know everyone at least a little bit, I feel more comfortable here. And overall, it's like everyone is less intimidating once you get to know them. So like, don't set your own prejudices before you kind of go and make an effort to talk to them.
Yeah, as I talked to the students today about, I go to a lot of events, and I try not to have preconceived notions. So I have an open mind, and meeting people, and the experience that it is. And one of the students that was here made me laugh because she said, "Well, I had no expectations. I had low expectations,"
Yeah.
and she was pleasantly surprised with coming here. So maybe that's a mindset that I might adopt as well, and in having expectations. And what did you think of the students that came in? So you're a year ahead. You're in grade 11, and so poised. And if I could do it all over again, I mean, it's incredible what we see in the caliber when you give students agency and their abilities. Like Adila is designing things for us that you know are world class, and you could, when you graduate, or even next year, you have the skills to be able to work in this environment and contribute. But you want to get a degree of some type. I understand
Yeah.
your parents would be impressed. And we've said this to other students in the past that have come out of John Fraser. Just the caliber is, top tier. And I'm so grateful for you being here. And talk to me about the fact that you're not going to necessarily do one thing. Good for you that you understand that you're going to do a degree and then another degree. And I'm on my, I guess I've done two. I'm thinking about a PhD. But in my career trajectory, I worked at a university. I studied sport management and was a sport information director. And then it's through volunteering that I ended up getting my first job and showing an interest when Kevin O'Leary was, yes, the guy in Sharks Tank and Dragon's Den, launched the learning company for him, the school division in Canada, leaving York. And if I stayed at York, and I was up there this week for a conference, and I still play on the faculty hockey team, but I would be retired now.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? Being part of this community here at the Mindshare Workspace, and getting to work with awesome students and colleagues, and helping startups and companies thrive, and working in that tech, it's been a real cool transition out of the university. And that's what really life is about. It's about it not being a direct path necessarily, and following your passion, right? So you start at one level and one career pathway, and then it takes you to keeping an open mind, and always realizing that it has to be sustainable too.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurship is something I pursued, and knock on wood, it's worked out well so far. And is that something, you've experienced a number of entrepreneurs and different businesses? What are your impressions of some of what you've learned from the entrepreneurship side? And is that something that you would embrace, I guess, as a side gig to start?
Yeah, I think so. Because originally I was kind of hesitant to like do entrepreneurship since it's very risky in my opinion, and the chance that you don't make it work, like the repercussions are severe at times depending on how much you put into it. So honestly, I'm considering it, but it's not my main thing for now. So
Cool. And so, as a high school co-op student, how do you think your generation perceives the utilizing technology in the classroom? That's something we focus on with Mindshare Learning. Um, um, is it something that, I mean, ChatGPT is something we talked about. Um, how important is it to you? You really leverage Canva in a big way and as a tool. What are your thoughts?
I feel like we're always looking for like new ways to explore technology, new ways to use it. For our purposes specifically, we're trying to like find different ways to like best the system so that we get better marks. But in general, I feel like it could be a good learning tool. Um, yeah, because right now our intentions are really grade driven, but in the end, like if we're truly trying to learn something, technology is definitely a great tool, especially if you want to like teach yourself or like find new skills that you want to learn. I think it's really great.
That's awesome. Well said. And any anecdotes from the workspace or advice for high school students looking for co-op or starting a business? Is it? I think they just introduced in the province that every student will take a co-op course through their
Oh,
career at some, starting next year. Perhaps I think there's good value in that. What are your thoughts? Would you recommend co-op?
Personally, for me, co-op would have been my first choice just because I had a hard time fitting it into my course schedule. I really wanted to keep all my options open, taking all three sciences, but that didn't work out because I had to cut some for co-op. But overall, I feel like the experience itself is really valuable, and if you can fit it in, I would definitely recommend it. But at the same time, if academics is what you value and you already know you want to go into something like being a doctor or like something that needs all those
Right.
sciences and maths and whatever, then definitely prioritize that. But yeah, co-op is a really great experience.
So thank you for that. Now, you mentioned grades, and that's still, as much as we talk about experiential learning and doing things differently, at the end of the day, you still need great grades. What would you do differently if you were the Minister of Education? How would you introduce, like, applying to university, maybe more uh, digital portfolio based and kind of divide that between your grades? Because the best students, the best graded students, don't necessarily make the best lawyers or accountants. It's a mix of skills, etc. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. So grades themselves, I feel like they hold a certain amount of value because at the end of the day, you're being graded on similar content. But it's also really dependent on the teacher's execution, the way you respond to the teaching style. So a lot of it is like in the air and not really kind of standard across Canada. So honestly, I don't think they're a very fair, like kind of standard for students to get into university in general. But most universities now offer like personal essays and like things that you can
Right.
write to show them who you are. And I think,
Portfolios
yeah,
and things like
portfolios
that.
especially. So yeah, I think that's really great that universities are trying to move towards that. But for some careers, I feel like grades still do matter, like engineering, like math, all the harder stuff. I feel like if you're not inherently, good at math, programming, that kind of stuff, it might not be the best choice for you. So
Don't do
yeah,
it. Don't do it. You won't have any options. What about so you want to do? You said economics and then law,
yeah,
and then what's next?
corporate lawyer and make lots of money.
There you go. You got it. It's fascinating having you here, and thank you for your contribution. We're grateful for that. Any final thoughts to share with our audience?
If you're thinking of co-op, do it here. So it's really great. I really recommend it. We have amazing cookies and
And
other things.
you get to eat at Thrive Thursday
Oh
lunches,
yeah.
and that's coming up tomorrow, actually.
Yes.
So until that, thank you so much again, Adila. And that was Adila, a co-op student working here at the Mindshare Workspace. And my name is Robert Merdlanchi of Mindshare Learning and the Mindshare Workspace. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve steep.